My next guest will face Jared Cannonier at UFC 254. And of course, it is the former champion himself, Robert Whittaker. Robert, how are you, sir?
Very good, mate. Very good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm happy to have you on, and congratulations on your most recent win, a very tough fought, close fight against Darren Till. And, you know, we both know there's been a lot of controversial judging decisions as of late. How confident were you and your team that you got the job done before the judges rendered their decision?
I was fairly confident because me and my team believe we won the majority of the rounds. I think it just looked like I was winning the entire fight. You know, with the amount of experience that I've had, I feel like I took it away with the points and the judge decision. But obviously, you don't leave it in the hand of the judges because you don't know how they're going to fly that night. So but like judges' preference and craziness aside, I was very confident that I had done it well.
Now, in that first round, he landed a big elbow. How dazed were you? How long did it take you to recover from that, if at all?
Yeah, that sort of elbow, like that particular one, that wasn't a dazing sort of shot. It kind of just put me on my ass quickly. And then, like, you know what happened, and you just get back up. It was just a good, powerful shot. The dazing ones are about the ones where, you know, you lose a little bit of balance, start doing the chicken dance, that sort of thing.
Yeah, okay. Well, that clearly didn't happen. Well, I'm curious what kind of in-fight adjustments your team wanted you to make in between rounds. What were they telling you? Were they telling you that you were winning the first and second and so on? And what did they want you to tweak as far as in-fight adjustments go?
More or less, they told me the rounds I won. They also told me the rounds I lost, and they told me just be patient. Don't go charging in recklessly. Be patient. Bait out his strikes, which is why it was such a chess match with me and Darren, because we were both feinting a lot to try and bait each other out so that we could effectively counter strike and see those holes. But we were both playing that game very well. But they did tell me to mix in the grappling, mix in the takedowns, start getting him thinking of the different levels. And, you know, honestly, that's what got me across the line.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people got a kick. It looked like, you know, after the fight, you and Darren were talking and you were kind of imitating his feints. Do you remember doing that? Yeah. So what was the in-cage conversation afterwards?
Yeah, no, I guess we were just laughing about the fight itself because it's such a chess match. We're both feinting to draw each other out, and that went on for 25 minutes. So yeah, it was just a stressful fight.
Now, apparently he tore his MCL in the second round. Could you tell that he was injured? And if so, were you trying to, you know, really get after that?
No, I could not tell. I could not tell at all. And you know, credit to him, he's tough as nails. But moving forward, I'm just going to keep stomping it no matter what. Like, I'm not going to wait for signs or signals. I'm just going to do it.
Yeah, you definitely have a good stomp there. Another thing that I found really interesting in the fifth round, I don't know if this was veteran gamesmanship on your part, but when you got cut, it looked like you were turning yourself away so the referee couldn't see maybe how bad the cut was. Is that accurate?
That's hard to say. No, not really. Like, it wasn't a conscious thought. It's it wasn't a conscious thought. I didn't even pay it any mind, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay. Did you guys get to go and have a pint afterwards and talk about it?
No, we couldn't. We saw each other in the restaurant, but it's hard, man. You know, he just come off a loss. It could have easily have been me, and I've lost before. It sucks. You know, it sucks. You really don't want to. Last thing you want to do is spend time with your opponent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Now, obviously, outside of the win here, what was the most memorable moment of your time in Abu Dhabi and competing there? Because it looked like really quite a spectacle.
Honestly, it was such a unique event and such a unique time in the world for this to take place. Like, I almost consider myself lucky to have experienced it, because people aren't, like, other fighters moving forward, they're not going to be able to experience this, you know, forever. Like, a lot of the fighters right now can't experience this because they're not allowed to leave their countries. Like, to be able to go to Abu Dhabi with all the isolation and, like, the hotel and just the whole thing, I'm lucky, man. I truly am lucky. It was something I'll remember for the rest of my life.
Yeah, well, it really was a great performance. So congratulations on the win there. Now, I'm sure you're probably sick of talking about this by now, but the fight prior to that was obviously when you lost the belt to Adesanya. You said you really weren't in a good headspace leading into that fight. You know, looking back on it now, Do you feel, obviously with adjustments and when you do rematch, I'm sure it's going to happen at some point soon, how differently will a second fight be with Izzy?
Yeah, I think it'll be quite different, just in the sense that I'll be enjoying it going in there. I'll have the right mind space going in there. I'll have the right headspace being in there. Being patient, taking the fight differently. But who can say how it ends? Like, because he caught me once, he might catch me again. You never really know. Is it? I'm not taking anything away from that guy.
Do you feel like he is any more of a difficult stylistic matchup for you than anybody else in the middleweight division? Or do you feel it was just a situation where you got caught and it is what it is?
I think it was just a situation I got caught. I think he is a great striker, but I think that fight is just that fight. It's what happened.
Mhm. Now, I'm not saying that I think this, but the people that want to kind of tear you down and say that, oh, you're past your prime now, you're not going to be the champion anymore. They point to the fact that you had a couple of wars with Yoel Romero. I mean, man, those were just a couple of barn burner fights. I'll never forget them. It'll be something I'll remember the rest of my life. Do you feel like you took significant damage and it may have affected you moving forward, or have you been able to kind of take that time off, regroup, and you feel as good as ever now?
I feel better than ever right now. It's certainly like having those 10 rounds, back to back, and then they took their toll on me for sure. That's why I needed that break. That's why I was feeling burnt out since the second fight with him, because they were hard fights. They were hard fights. So it took its toll in that respect. But that's why I had that time away. I had that break, and you saw in my last performance, like I'm enjoying it again. I'm back. I'm technical. I'm fast. I'm strong. I'm fit. And yeah, I don't know how I can be past my prime at 29. Like, good God.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
there are guys fighting in their late 30s and 40s. If my prime is 29 or 28 when I lost the belt, then geez, there's never much of a future for me anyway.
well, a lot of people can be prisoners of the moment. So I think anybody that thinks that, that's probably kind of where they're coming from. Just what happened recently. You did say you regained your spark. Do you remember like a specific moment in time where you really just you felt that?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a specific moment. It was like a growing itch. You know what I mean? It's like, so I took my time off, took myself away from the gym. Didn't even like. I didn't even know if I was going to come back to the sport. I just took myself out of the scene, and like it's like that itch started in here, and I knew that it's probably just jitters, like post, like not hanging up, not hanging up gloves, but post the start of the break and not doing any training. But it just got worse, and it got worse, and it got worse, and 1 month, and then 2 months, and then I was like, okay, obviously the thing is, I haven't lost the drive to fight, nor the hunger to fight. It's something else. So then I started tackling that, but knowing at that point that I'm still fighting right now. This is what I love to do, and this is what I'm going to do.
No doubt. Well, happy to see you again back in the win column, over a very tough guy. Now, tell me what life has been like for you during the pandemic. I think fairly recently, anyways, you opened up a new gym in, is it Ottoman? A new.
Our time.
Okay, that's okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So,
you're right.
what was that like? What were things like at the gym? Were you able to stay open, or did you have to close down and?
No, a lot of our gyms had to shut up shop because a lot of Sydney in Australia had to shut up shop. I think what am I saying? A lot of the world shut up shop because pandemic's been hitting everybody. So it's all the same thing. Everybody's kind of in the same boat, especially gyms. Like anything that social distancing isn't a thing really. It's been shut. So everyone's been juggling the same things. Everyone's been dealing with the same pandemic. We're just hopefully we've gotten through the worst of it, and we can slowly start to creep forward again.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Now, obviously, your fight is going to be here before you know it, October the 24th. You did say in a previous interview that you wanted it to be in November or December. I mean, October 24th is pretty close to November. Why did you decide on that date, or is that just what they were trying to push you to get back in there for?
It's like I think that's one of the things that was confirmed. There is a fight then. I think anything past that date was kind of in no man's land. And the one thing I did not want to happen is me not get back in that octagon before the end of the year. And October is like, it's still a nice amount of weeks away. So You know, it'll also force me not to get too fat.
What's the biggest that you get out of camp? Like, what's the heaviest you weigh?
Like, it depends. After my break in January, February, I was walking around 100 kegs.
Okay.
So you use kilograms there, eh?
No, no, we do pounds. What does that equate to?
Okay.
I'm sorry,
I
I'm
don't
not a
know.
math whiz.
So 220-ish,
Okay. Yeah. Well,
like
yeah.
maybe. Yeah, 205.94. So add 6 kilos onto that, add another 12. Yeah, about 225 maybe.
So,
220.
so the days of welterweight are never coming back. You will not be going
Mate,
on there.
never ever coming back. Like never, never. There's not even a thing.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you there. Now your opponent here, Jared Cannonier, he's got a lot of steam behind him, and rightfully so. He's got some big wins over Jack Hermanson, Anderson Silva, obviously David Branch as well. When you take a look at his skill set and what he does well, where do you feel like you're going to be able to hold the biggest stylistic advantage over him in this fight?
I think across the board, to be honest. I think on paper, anyways, because the night's the night. But I think on paper, anyways, like I'm just better than him across the board. I think I have better cardio, speed, strength, striking, grappling, wrestling. Honestly, I think he just hits hard and he's tough as hell.
Mhm.
And which funny enough, is a dangerous combination, right? And I'm by no means am I saying he's bad at anything. He's in the top 10. He's in the top 5. Like he's obviously good at everything, but I just think I'm better. You know what I mean? And I look to go in there and just keep my distance, avoid those heavy shots, pick him apart, maybe throw in some wrestling, maybe throw in some grappling, like, and just yeah, I think it's got to be too much for him. I think I'm going to overwhelm him and get him out of there.
Now, I know you always like to go for the finish. It's been a while since you've gotten a finish. Last one was 3 years ago over Jacare. Do you feel like this is the time, this fight with Cannonier, we're going to see you get a stoppage win here?
I hope so. Like I to be fair, I try every time to get that finish, but he's a tough guy, and it's harder to get finishes in the top 5, top 10. Like all these guys are so tough. Um, I guess it's just a matter of the night. It's almost like a dice roll.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, I know all of us MMA fans out there are ecstatic waiting for this middleweight clash to come. Has Dana White and the UFC brass, have they confirmed that the winner of you and Jared will get the next title shot?
No, 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 no. It's hard to say. I assume like that would be the next go, but I'm not really thinking about it too much, to be honest. I'm just enjoying the game.
Okay. Well, last question for me. You're the co-main event, which is crazy to believe. I mean, that just goes to show you how unbelievable this card will be. The main
Yeah.
event is the lightweight title. Justin Gaethje is taking on Khabib. Who do you think wins this one and why?
Well, like I think Gaethje, he hasn't been underrated as much as that. I think after he had those losses, he started getting doubters. You know what I mean? I don't think he was underrated. I think he started getting doubters, but then he came back to that devastating, the crazy wins, and everyone's like back on the hot track. I've always thought he's just an amazing fighter, Like I think his striking is just unorthodox and crisp. He's got chin, he's got cardio, and his wrestling is top shelf. The only thing is though, I don't see Khabib losing anytime soon. He is just such. He has such like his strongest point is so much higher than everybody else's, and that just opens up everything else for him. So yeah, like if I was a betting man, I'd throw it on Khabib for sure. But I hope Gaethje gives it to him. I like both guys, so I'm on the fence.
So one last question here. The rumored 30th fight for Khabib, if he does beat Gaethje, he wants GSP. Does a 40-year-old GSP beat Khabib?
Mate, I think GSP is very, very good, but you're stacking the chips against him. You know what I mean? Like GSP coming back older, out of action, blah 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 blah. Like against Khabib, like Khabib is phenomenal right now. Like I said, I don't see him losing, period, until he wants to. He's just he just because he hasn't had close fights.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, geez.
Well, I can't wait for this card. Again, October 24th, can't get here soon enough. I really appreciate you taking the time to join me today, Rob, and hopefully we can do it again at some point soon.
Thank you very much, mate. It's been a pleasure being here.